Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. Now, if you haven't taken an arrow to the knee, you're probably playing Diablo 3 now. Wow, way to mix up the gaming references, Linus. No, but seriously, the 3170 CE is our most optimized Diablo 3 gaming rig. We were aiming to create something that fell into a palatable price point and delivered fantastic Diablo 3 performance even on completely maxed out settings, because there's no secret that tons of people are upgrading their PCs for Diablo 3. The one we have here today also has a bit of an overall Diablo 3 theme going on, with customized red stripes on the BitPhoenix Shinobi case, as well as the red BitPhoenix logo, and pretty sweet interior red lighting effects going on with alchemy LED strips, as well as some yellow LED fans. So it has kind of like a molten volcano-y hellfire type of color scheme going on. Now, if you guys are already familiar with the Shinobi window case, then you've probably seen this before, but it's a pretty slick looking little case, so we're definitely going to look at it again. It has sort of standard steel side panels, as well as like a smoked black window with room for a 120mm fan directly over the video card. However, the video card we have in there doesn't need any additional cooling because it has an awesome cooler. It has their soft touch finish on the front as well as on the top, and it has room for up to 3 5¼ devices in the front. So you can see we've occupied one of those with an M-Disk compatible burner. So if you do have any media or any data that you need to back up 100% permanently, you're going to get some compatible M-Disk disks, throw them in there, burn those, and they will survive for like thousands of years apparently. Okay, we've got a red theme thing going on here with red stripes down the front, as well as a red BitPhoenix logo. Remember, air intakes for this case are provided through these mesh strips, as well as on the top, sorry, not intakes, but more airflow is provided on the top as an exhaust with 2 120mm fans. In terms of I/O, it's pretty standard fare: 2 USB 2.0, 2 USB 3.0, headphones, microphone, power switch, and reset switch are all located at the top front of the case. So that's pretty much everything you need. Most people these days are not using eSATA and FireWire anymore, so that's why this particular system doesn't really have it. It's also sort of a more bang for the buck oriented system, and you tend to find things like FireWire on more high-end boards these days. In the back, we find 4 USB 2.0 ports, 4 USB 3, a PS2 keyboard mouse combo port, VGA, DVI, and HDMI out, all provided by the onboard graphics on the Intel Ivy Bridge processor inside. It's a Core i5. We've also got gigabit Ethernet, optical audio out, 7.1 audio out, and from the GTX 560, we've got dual DVI as well as mini HDMI out from the graphics card. Right, Slick reminded me that there is a smoked black window that provides more of an eerie effect on the inside versus a clear glass window that allows you to see everything a little bit more clearly, but doesn't look kind of as cool and dark. We've also got a bit of a like volcano-ish color scheme going on with this particular system, although you can customize that with red LED lighting at the bottom and yellow LED fans up at the top. Looks pretty cool. Now, whenever you set out to hit a particular price point and optimize the system for a particular game, some compromises have to be made. So while we would love to build every system with a K-series processor for easy overclocking and, you know, the highest end graphics cards, in this case, we made some sacrifices in order to hit a better price. Okay, so we're using a Core i5 dual-core 3450. Now, you can upgrade to a K-series processor and overclock it yourself, but this is not a pre-overclocked system. This is more of a value-oriented system. And while it's not an i7, it does still deliver most of the performance of even the higher-end quad cores, especially if the game is not heavily optimized for a quad core or a multi-threaded processor. It does still have hyper-threading though, which helps a little bit. We've also got 8 gigs of Patriot DDR3 memory. We've got a Coolit Eco water cooler that actually comes as a bonus in the first 50 systems for no extra charge. And I mentioned before that we were using a graphics card that didn't need any additional cooling. We are using a Gigabyte WindForce GTX 560. Now, the reason we've gone with the 560 in spite of the apparent performance advantage of Radeon cards in Diablo 3, is that the 560 enables us to use ambient occlusion to deliver the best possible image quality in the game and still tears through it and is going to deliver great frame rates even at high resolutions and high detail settings. So the Windforce cooler there, you can see, has dual enormous fans as well as 4 heat pipes to keep that graphics card super cool. We also have a Z77 D3H motherboard, which is fully capable of overclocking a K-series processor if you wanted to do that, and an 80 plus bronze Seasonic 520 watt power supply. We round out the config with a 1 terabyte drive, and I think you guys can see, once again, no SSD, the smaller power supply that's not really going to be appropriate for SLI or Crossfire, as well as the non-K processor. Yes, we have made compromises. However, I believe that at sort of, 2/3 of the price of a system that's more expensive, this guy's going to deliver sort of 80 to 85% of the performance. So recommended upgrades would be throw in a boot SSD or a caching SSD. This motherboard is fully capable of supporting that. Throw in a beefier power supply. Maybe go with a board that's optimized for SLI or Crossfire with 8x, 8x compatible slots. Throw in a K-series CPU. Throw in a higher end graphics card. But hey, you guys, not everyone has an unlimited budget, and for $999, it's pretty hard to beat this guy, especially with, the cool Diablo 3 themed lighting effects. Up here in the top, you can see we're using BitPhoenix Spectre fans with yellow LED lighting for all 3 of these fans. And then on the bottom, we have BitPhoenix Alchemy red LED lighting in order to get that molten look. So in conclusion, the Vesta 3170 CE is our Diablo 3 optimized rig, and apparently they saw fit. See, I just saw this in the preview of what will go out in an email newsletter to NCIX customers, where they've made my eyes demonic and scary. All right, I guess that's cool. Just filming my video, trying to showcase a PC here. Apparently the Russian thought this was actually, I bet I know who this was. I bet this was the NCIX artist who does our cartoon weekly sale banners. I'm pretty sure that was him. Anyway, here's internal pictures. Here's what you'll get if you are subscribed to the NCIX newsletter. Oh, here's another cool thing. The first 10 people to buy the system will also get a free full copy of Diablo 3. So the first 50 customers get a free liquid cooler. The first 10 get a free liquid cooler and a free copy of Diablo 3. Don't forget to subscribe to NCIX Tech Tips for more reviews, tutorials, and computer system videos from your favorite e-tailer, ncix.com.